Welcome to the Riviera Firefly podcast. Well, summer is on its way. The tourists are coming back and many of our businesses see a huge spike at this time of year with all the increased visitors. Of course, there's all the festivals. There's Cannes Film Festival just coming up on Grand Prix and many more throughout all the villages in the Côte d'Azur. So don't forget that this is a time that we all need to invest in some me time. You've got to invest in time in yourself. So this podcast is really for you. We're going to have some quick wins from yoga teacher Fayevillalba on things that you can even do from your bed in the morning, things that are going to make you summer ready and fighting fit to deal with all that extra business. Juliaedgely is also back. She has got some really important information, something that I just think was fantastic to hear about. Message for our skin, message for you and for all the kids and anyone who is going to be in contact with the sun. I'm also going to share with you how you can get my free PDF for some recommended summer reading. Now, these were books recommended by all my interviewees over the last 18 episodes. And if you keep listening, Faye will also have a special offer for you at the end of this podcast. Well, I don't know if you feel like I do right now. Spring has been lush and vibrant, and although there have been a fair few cloudy days, summer feels like it's just around the corner. So that means a couple of things. We're tuning our attentions into our homes and gardens. And so you may be interested to know about a dedicated Facebook group that has suddenly got lots more interest and activity. I'd really like you to join us in that group. So go to facebook.com/group/Home Garden Alpes Maritimes. I'll put that link in the show notes. So to get to the show notes, when you've got this on your podcast, click the image and at the bottom you'll see all the links that I mention in this podcast. In this group, lots of people are sharing tips and support, particularly about the gardens right now. Well, I'm no green finger podcaster, I'm afraid, but I am trying, and so this group is going to be invaluable to me. In fact, I already had to replant my tomatoes based on some advice that someone gave me. You know, I recently watched an amazing film called Demain, or Tomorrow, on the recommendation of Sandrine Lemoine. Sandrine runs a gorgeous little B&B and chambre d'hôte in Opio-le-Rouret. Really worth checking her out as well, actually. She's on facebook.com/Ile Blanche. Anyway, she told me about this film. It's a French film. It's a really international film, and lots of it goes into English. So even if your French isn't super fluent, you're totally going to understand the message in this. It's a feel-good story about an intrepid group of Frenchies that are trying to discover, by studying the best ideas around the world, how we can solve ecological, economical and social crises that the various countries are going through. That sounds a little bit boring, a little bit dull. I tell you, it's such a brilliant film. You really must watch it. It revived my interest in homegrown vegetables and my kids too. So if that sort of pricks your interest, go and get a copy. I rented mine on iTunes really easily, but I am planning on buying it because I do want to see it again. So thanks for that tip, Sandrine. In this group as well, so Home Garden Alpes Maritimes, Helen Basson of Scapedesign just joined. I'm quite thrilled about that because I'm hoping that we'll get a few tips from her. She's really busy right now with the Chelsea Flower Show. Their entry you can actually follow. It's really cool. It's got a time-lapse camera watching as they're building their set and their show garden. And you can see those videos on their Facebook page, Scape Design. And I'm hoping that Helen will have some nuggets of gold that she's going to share with us in our little Facebook group. And she has promised me an interview for this podcast once the Chelsea Flower Show is out of the way. So good luck, the Bassons. Good luck, Scape Design. We can't wait to hear all about it in a future podcast. Firstly, let's have a little word from our sponsor, Kidooland.
Kidooland, English activities for 0 to 16-year-olds.
Arts, gym, music, Montessori and playgroups for under 3s.
And older fun for older kids. Theatre, singing, dance, sport, Lego and fashion. All in English.
Kidooland Activity Centre. See kidooland.com.
Having successfully launched 3 businesses, bilingual mum to 2 and entrepreneur Antonia Bowes-Brown has connected with thousands of people, both French and international, since moving to the French Riviera. These connections allow her to speak with successful local businesses and inspirational people about life here on the Côte d'Azur and share it with you. Welcome to the Riviera Firefly podcast with your host, entrepreneur, and my mum, Antonia Bowes-Brown.
Hello Fireflies! Well, I promised you a little treat here. As part of some personal stretch and grow targets, I asked some of my female buddies to make a list of challenges and outings, things that we could do together that we wouldn't normally do, let's call it a bucket list if you like, things that would get us out of the workplace. And the first one that we decided to go and do was the golf practice on the driving range. Well, I have to say it's about 20 years since I've actually been on a golf course, unless you count the pitch and putt down near Marineland in Biot, and my post-baby boobs don't really lend themselves to golf. But I was determined to give it a go, and I also figured it may be useful to have a few knowledgeable tips before I went and embarrassed myself in front of all the pros. So I went and visited the Biot golf course and the very patient Christophe Orbiton, who explained the basics to me and worked with me on a little bit of putting and some simple driving. And it really, really helped me. It was a fab way to end the week. I went on a Friday afternoon and had an hour-and-a-half lesson with him. And I was really quite inspired that I was actually able to get some of the balls up into the air and in the right direction. So, I met up this week with the newly formed Bucket Gang, well, in particular with yoga teacher Fayevillalba, in Villeneuve-Loubet for some putting and driving, and it has to be said it was the perfect way to spend a Monday afternoon, all for the princely sum of €4. Well, that didn't include the lesson, but €4 to get a whole big basket of balls and go on the driving range and go putting on the little putting course. As we were leaving, I was reminded of some thoughts that I'd been having recently. It's that time of year when I think we all start to get them. You sort of think, I need to get back into clean and healthy eating. You get back into salads. And I'm thrilled to say that Faye was really happy to share some words of wisdom and, more importantly, some quick wins that we could all implement into our daily routines. Now, we are creatures of habit, and if we can associate a new habit along with an old one, then it makes it much easier for it to take root. So, for example, if I wanted to drink more water and make that part of my daily routine, then one tip that I heard about was to leave a glass beside my toothbrush, and every time I go to brush my teeth, which is already part of my daily routine, I see the glass and I have a drink of water. So I'm already going to be adding 2 or 3 glasses of water per day. So here's Faye with some post-golf tips in the car on my portable mic, and we were gradually getting hotter and hotter in our porter studio with some top tips, things that we can implement into our day straight away. So we have just come off the driving range. We're having a little list of bucket list things to do that we don't normally do, not because we're old or anything, but young at heart. So for €4, we actually just went to Villeneuve-Loubet, got a bucket of balls, and just practised hitting them.
And it was fantastic. What a way to get out some of that aggressivity.
Yeah, it was a great way just to enjoy the sunshine and the blue sky.
It was, and so peaceful, and we could chat for the whole time as well. No, it was a really
we did
good
the
thing to
putting
do.
green and driving range for like an hour. Anyway, I thought I'd grab you quickly before you go off to your next yoga lesson.
Thank you.
Because as I was driving into work today, I thought the sun was out, the sky's all blue again, and it's time to think about spring and some new resolutions.
Oh, yeah, I feel exactly the same. And I have to say, I've been making a real effort. Well, it's not even an effort. The sky is so blue, like you say, and spring is in the air. So I do try, the minute I wake up in the morning before I get out of bed, I put that smile on my face. I talked about that at more length in the last podcast I did with you. So I put a smile onto my face.
This is while you're still in bed, yeah?
While I'm still in bed,
Okay.
I take some deep breaths and I try to do some positive affirmations. For example, today I'm brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. My body is healthy, my mind is brilliant, my soul is tranquil. Little positive affirmations like that that kind of just put that spring into your step and
put you in the right frame of mind, I guess.
Absolutely.
For many people listening are going into the busy season now. Cannes Film Festival, Grand Prix, and then holiday rentals for the summer. So actually having some positive thoughts as we
Positive
get into that
thoughts.
is good.
I was looking again at the TED Talk by this woman, Amy Cuddy, and honestly, I'd so recommend it. She's so interesting in the way that she talks about body language and how your posture has such an impact on your mind. So yes, if you are going into a busy season, it's a really easy way of getting more energy.
And this I was reading the other day was instead of reaching for your phone and checking Facebook.
Well, yes, exactly. Now, that's important on two counts. Firstly, Amy talks about this in great length, how our posture and therefore our whole demeanour has been so affected by leaning into and leaning over these mobile devices. So there's that to consider, you know, how much more important it is to stand up straight and to expand and to fill yourself with energy. But of course, there's also, yes, you want to get out of that routine of making email and Facebook the first thing you look at in the morning.
So it's trying to find very simple little things that you can do that you attach to your normal routine that make a difference. So it's not making massive changes. So you wake up in the morning, instead of reaching for your mobile phone, you say, no, I'm going to smile and give myself my positive affirmations for the day. Talk about some stretches. What can you do stretch-wise?
So then when you get into the bathroom, it's so simple. All you need to do really is, I kind of tend to look in the mirror and I start by just stretching the arms out to the sides and up towards the sky, but working, and my students will recognise this when I say it, working not from the shoulders, but imagining that your arms begin between your shoulder blades. So it's like you're stretching your wings, really. You're opening your wings out to the side. You can make it a little bit more active by kind of circling your arms up and round. Then I'd stand up on my toes, because balance is such an important thing to find first thing in the morning.
And I have been trying to do my teeth with one leg, actually.
Later on when you come to brush your teeth, absolutely try standing on one leg. Make it fun. So don't feel that you have to do a whole half hour or hour of yoga. There are all those little things, little stretches. If you do then have time, then of course to start off with maybe 5 or 6 sun salutations is an ideal.
You've got a video on that, haven't you?
I have. There are lots of sun salutation sequences online, but if you wanted to look at one that's more in the style of yoga that I practice, there's one on YouTube which is just called fayevillalba Simple Flow 1 or 2. So,
okay, and I'll put that as a link in the show notes.
Thank you.
Now, this morning, again, I haven't done this for a very long time, but I suddenly saw the apple cider vinegar in a cupboard, and I was like, oh, I haven't done that. And tell us why it is so important.
I've been drinking apple cider vinegar, just a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more, in my hot water every morning for about 4 years now. Apart from all of the benefits that, again, you can find if you Google apple cider vinegar online, personally, I can vouch for the fact that I have not had a cold in those 4 years. My skin has improved to the point where people have asked if I've had a facelift. Without wanting to blow my own trumpet, it's the apple cider vinegar. It can apparently help you lose weight. It can banish bad breath. It reduces blood pressure. Really importantly, it keeps your blood sugar in check. I mean, it's highly recommended for people with diabetes, even type 2 diabetes, so you have to be a little bit careful. Check with your doctor if you're already on blood sugar level reducing medication. Helps digestion, balances your pH levels. It really is a miraculous. Of all the supplements, both expensive and cheap, that I've ever taken in my life, apple cider vinegar is the one that I can honestly vouch for.
Excellent. Okay, well, I'm going to make sure I get back on that one, because, you know, you do. This is the reason for this podcast, is that with the best intentions, you suddenly forget, you sort of forget, don't you? And then you sort of, oh no, I've got to get back, I've got to get healthy again, build up my immunity ready for the busy season.
Yes, no, absolutely.
Tell me about, you mentioned something earlier to me about water, some water thing you're doing?
The other thing that I've been drinking recently throughout the day is water kefir. Somebody gave me the grains, and I tried in the past with kombucha, with milk kefir. These are all fermented drinks that are high, they're teeming with probiotic bacteria. And to be honest, the kombucha I found quite difficult, a little bit of a hassle, but the water kefir grains is so easy. It's literally just a sugar solution. The kefir feeds off of the sugar, and in 2 or 3 days it's ready. It's a fizzy drink. Even the children love it. My husband loves it.
And where can you get it from?
So you can order it online, but by far the best thing is to have a friend like me who has some, because the grains, it's wonderful to see as well, because they grow. They're constantly growing and expanding. And so I can regularly give those grains away.
So if people wanted to become your friend, the best way is through one of your yoga classes.
Exactly.
On a Tuesday or a Friday.
Yeah, they could come along to a yoga class or on any of my yoga classes, but at the moment I have space on a Tuesday and a Friday, absolutely.
So you're changing the time slightly of these ones.
I
From the
am.
30th of May. What's going to happen then?
I am. I'm changing the time very slightly to start at 1:45 so that we can finish at 3 o'clock, which I'm hopeful might be more attractive to mums whose children finish school that little bit earlier at 3:30.
So from the 30th of May, there's going to be 5 classes until school breaks up. So normally it's €15 a class.
That's right. So
have you got a special Riviera Firefly promotion for us?
Firefly promotion. If when you call me, you say that you've heard about this offer on this podcast, then rather than the €75 that those 5 classes would normally cost, I can give them to you for 60.
Brilliant. Okay, well thank you so much, Faye. Very quick little changes. Apple cider vinegar, the water and the kefir. People can come and chat to you and become your friend through one of your yoga classes. And these changes, plus the smile on your face in the morning and a bit of self-affirmation in the morning, is going to make for a much easier May, June and July. Thank you, Faye.
You're welcome. Thank you.
The full interview with Faye, where we chatted about her film career background and her work with A-list celebrities, can be heard in episode 9, and that ties nicely in with Cannes Film Festival, doesn't it? So either on your podcast app, scroll down to episode 9, or you can go to rivierafirefly.com, the website, and scroll down until you find her full episode. It's one of our most popular episodes, so well worth a listen. Juliaedgely was also interviewed in episode 5. Now, I was just learning about technology and we did have some hiccups, so I was thrilled when Julia agreed to record more content with me. Up next is the first of a series of clips that I'll be sharing with you over the next couple of weeks. This week's topic is sunscreen.
Hi everyone, this is Julia, homeopath here. Today I want to talk to you about how to have fun in the sun and protect your skin this summer using safe, non-toxic products. Now, everybody knows that a little bit of sun goes a long way and does the world of good. Why? Because of a vitamin called vitamin D, which is not only essential for our body, it boosts our immune system, has multiple functions in our body. So how do we marry that, getting our vitamin D, with protecting ourselves from overexposure of the sun? Well, the average time needed to absorb vitamin D is between 20 and 30 minutes a day. So you want to expose large parts of your body. That is your arms and your legs. You want to do this in the early morning or you want to do this in the late evening. Any time between 12 and 4, you really want to protect your skin and your cells from overexposure. I actually really suggest between 11 and 4, which is around lunchtime. So you'll be in a nice cool shade and a glass of rosé. So what do you do when you want to protect your skin? The best things you want to do, you're looking at physical blocks. You're looking at hats, you're looking at sunglasses, long sleeves and trousers. But what else do people, what's the standard product that people use? People use sunscreens, creams that will protect your skin from the sun. Now, these are a miracle invention. However, most research recently is showing that the chemicals used and the ingredients used in these products are actually doing more harm than they are good. Chemicals like nanoparticles, oxybenzone. These are ingredients that you actually want to avoid. Overexposure to these are showing to mimic hormones, cause skin irritation, and many more side effects. So what are you looking for to protect your skin, your children's skin and your family's skin? You're actually looking for non-nanoparticles. So non-nano zinc oxide or titanium dioxide, and you actually want it in a cream. Why? Zinc oxide has been shown to be safe. Titanium dioxide, however, when inhaled, can have an issue with our lungs. So what you want to do when it's in a cream, you won't absorb it in the lungs. These ingredients are too big to be absorbed for the skin, so they stay on the surface of our skin. Now, some of you may know, if you try to look for natural products, that you might end up looking like Casper. Fantastic to protect your skin from the sun, but can be a bit sticky and difficult to get on a child that just wants to run into the sea. So what products do you want to look for? I've actually used many products, and as you all can hear from my accent, I am Irish, and I've tested one recently while on a holiday in Thailand. So the best one I recommend is a product called Babu Botanicals, B-A-B-O, pronounce it as you will. This is available from the States and it's soon coming into Europe. You can order it from a website called iHerb. It's a spray, non-nano, clear zinc oxide. water resistant, will last all day, and it really does work. Fantastic for running, for kids on holidays, for yourself, having a day on the beach. Other people ask me, what are the other things items I will use? I actually really like SPF clothing. I know a line called Cabana Life. You might have seen it in most magazines, and they have beautiful clothing that actually have the material offers protection from the sun. This is the best way to protect you and your kids from the sun in the midday times from overexposure. So I would like Babu Botanicals, Cabana Life. Some women actually then contact me outside of summer, but in the winter times, of what SPF to protect for their face, for their skin. I hesitate slightly because this product is absolutely amazing, but the price slightly makes my eyes water, but is the best thing out there, honestly. It's a product called Josh Rosebrook. They do an SPF 30 clear day cream, or they would do a tinted day cream, depending on your skin tone. This is one of the best creams I have found for your face. So I hope that you've had some information on how to have fun in the sun, what to look out for safe, non-toxic products, and how to get the most from your vitamin D. Have an absolutely brilliant day. Take care.
Thanks, Julia. I'm going to put those links in the show notes, and you can also access them through the Firefly website. Now, if you want to get in touch with Julia, maybe you want to have a big MOT, one-off assessment, that kind of thing, her website is homeopath.fr, which redirects to v and then the number 4 vitality.com. Julia's actually going to be running her last baby massage workshop of the year for parents with babies under 12 months in Kidooland on the 22nd of May. I think she has 1 or maybe 2 spots free. You can book the tickets on eventbrite.fr. Probably if you put it in the search engine Kidooland or baby massage or Julia homeopath, it will come up. Otherwise, again, in the show notes, you've got the link there. I'm going to be sharing links from this interview in our community groups on Facebook. We have Cotedazurliving, which is all one word for everything about living and visiting the Côte d'Azur. We have about 6,300 members now, so it's a very dynamic and supporting group. If you've got a business, then we have a very intimate group. It's the Riviera Firefly Cocoon. Over 100 members of businesses here on the Côte d'Azur, all linking up, networking and supporting each other. So keep your eye out in there for the book club PDFs, and don't forget to go to Fayevillalba's website, fayevillalba.com, because you've got that Firefly deal that she kindly offered for 5 sessions of yoga in June, and that's with the €15 discount, so €60. Okay, please share this episode if you like what we're doing, or even better, please subscribe or join our mailing list on rivierafirefly.com so that you can be sure to get each episode as they come out. Well, that's all for now. Enjoy all the exciting events that are coming up, and we'll speak to you next time. Thanks for listening.
This episode was brought to you by Riviera Firefly for Cotedazurliving by your host and my mum, Antonia Beauvoisin Brown. Please subscribe, like and share.